mean like on an individual level, myself, Brandon Incorporated. Now, we've always had the supply, which is your human and social capital, your interests, what you're capable of. And hopefully you've always had the demand, and I think people like me. But what has changed in modern day society is that we've been given the opportunity to have a marketing department. With the increase in technology and social media, we've been able to market ourselves and place ourselves any way we want. We can make ourselves seem like a superstar or express our true identity through Facebook posts, Twitter posts, etc. Now, despite this change, there's always been the most significant form of marketing yourself, and that's the traditional form, having yourself placed within a brand name, well-known magazine. Now, my associates, Sam, Sean, and myself are excited to be here today because we think that we can express this further and help you leverage this concept and this social desire to get everybody implemented and integrated within your entire marketing platform. So, throughout our consultation, we're going to go over the mandate so we understand what we need to get done. We're going to review the current L Quebec current situation so that we have a mutual understanding on what needs to get done. The future L Quebec brand, which will be our recommended campaign. How to implement this campaign, of course, a conclusion. Now on the bottom of the slide, you can see ARI, which represents analysis, recommendation, and implementation. And they will be highlighted within that portion of the presentation so you can follow along. So what do we have to get done? Well, we need to create an integrated marketing campaign using L Quebec's various platforms. We understand that you have a great wide variety of platforms available. You're not getting the traffic desired, so there are ways and means of doing this. And we want to see an increase in-store sales with regards to the magazines. We want to get more of a brand engagement, getting them involved, having that L Quebec brand associated with their lives. Of course, getting more platform traffic, as mentioned, and content life cycle. Getting individuals involved with that content you're posting for a longer period of time. Instead of just reading it and tossing it, you want people to go back to the older material that you've posted and getting them more involved that way.
So I'll start you off with an analysis. So the first analysis we're going to look at, of course, is who is TC Media, because this is sort of the parent brand of the L brand, the L Quebec brand. So 3 important things to note. TC Media has a lot of resources. Not only do you have technical resources as well as developmental resources in terms of media that you can create, but you also have a really high knowledge base. And you don't only have this knowledge base, you really leverage it across your horizontals. Not only do you keep it in one vertical, but you share it across all your divisions. So this is something that's really a strength for your company. You also have the exchange programs. You noted an example where you partnered with Health Magazine in order to do a cross-promotion on a TV show. So you do reach out to people and you do utilize other tools that are available to you that you might not have internally. And finally, you have a really wide reach. So not only are you currently having a database of about 5.8 million people, but you do also create those exchange programs and extend your reach past that. So the really important takeaway in terms of TC is just that you're sort of a self-fulfilling entity. You're very independent. So continuing on, we'll look at who is L Quebec. So the mission for L Quebec, of course, is to inform and entertain women with intelligence and optimism, and that is really symbolic of the brand. You use a journalistic style to really speak to that level of intelligence, and the attitude is trendy, sophisticated, engaging, and inspiring. These are all values that you uphold through all of the different media that you have in these magazines. So you have the articles, you have, of course, the editorial photo shoots, and you also have the products. So the products was something that I really wanted to highlight as well. In any given issue, you'll have hundreds of products featured. Now, this might be an area, of course, that you might want to look into leveraging a little bit more. It's very easy to share content such as editorials and articles, but it's a little bit harder to share the products because of their nature. They're a physical nature and not sort of a visual, easily transmittable nature. So the next analysis that we want to follow that with is who's the L Quebec woman. So the L Quebec woman adores shopping. She loves brands, she wants products of quality and style, but what does that mean? It means that image is important to her. It's something that she really takes care of and really takes pride in, and it's something, of course, being social, that she likes to share. She also says that 56% of the time she likes to keep up with the latest fashions. So what does this mean? It means that she is likely to trial a new product. to a friend. And this means that they themselves are likely to repurchase any given product that they are recommending because they like it enough to share it. So who is the target audience and who do you want to reach in order to leverage all your platforms and increase communication and engagement across all your platforms? You really want to target women who are in Quebec, of course, and who are between 18 and 40. Now, why 18 and 40? We know that your largest target is the 35 to 54. However, this also represents a large demographic. It spreads across 2 of your demographics, and the women in this category will be apt to using new media and not necessarily only traditional media, and they won't be as limited in their use of the media and the way that they use it. And also attitude compatibility. All those values that you have, being trendy, being engaging, aspiring to be intelligent, these are all things that category is really upholding as well, because they're often going towards a career or going towards a family or going towards a very ambitious goal at this stage in their life. So moving on, finally, the communication objectives and behavior objectives in order to integrate all your existing marketing platforms with that target are, of course, to increase the consumer awareness of all your different platforms, make them aware that you have all these different ways to engage them. And in terms of behavior, of course, you want that to translate to the purchase of more magazines in store, and also to increase participation on all your channels, so digital, social, etc., web. So those are the objectives. Elles au pluriel. Elles sont trendy, elles sont belles, elles sont engageantes, elles sont intelligentes. Qui sont-elles? Elles sont vos lectrices de Elle Québec. Chacune a ses propres qualités, chacune aime les démontrer, et notre stratégie de communication marketing intégrée les permettra de faire ce dernier. Mon ami Brandon va continuer avec la recommandation pour plus vous élaborer ce thème.
So we're going to be combining the fact that you have an extensive product resource within your magazines, all these products that you're highlighting, that you have a huge readership, you have great distribution around the Quebec province, you are located within Quebec, which is a very social culture, so they have a high presence within social media, and you do have these established platforms. So what is the L campaign? Well, I'm going to be going over with you. It basically deals with some product highlights, picture posts, a grand prize associated with this, and platform incentives. So to start off with, the best thing to conceptually understand this recommendation, these are your must-haves. These are very important with regards to the campaign. So all these product advertisements you have within your printed magazine, you are going to be placing an associated image, a Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest image. It's a slight logo, you can put a twist on it, so they recognize that this social media icon and this product is associated with this campaign. So say if it's a lipstick, which is a very low involvement consumer item, is on one of your pages. You'll put a Twitter image next to it. So they know that this small object will be involved with one of your Twitter posts. So you're going to be spreading this throughout many issues. So what they do once they see this image associated with that product, on your app, on your web page, and through your Pinterest, you're going to announce that on page 26 of that ad, of a certain issue, they'll see that lipstick has the Twitter post, the Twitter logo next to it. They then need to go take a picture with that object. Now, who's benefiting here? Well, they're getting themselves involved with your magazine because they want to be associated with this competition. The individuals who have placed the products within your magazine like the incentive because they're having an incentive to go purchase these products. And when they post an image on that associated social media site, whether it be a Facebook post or a Twitter post, on the Twitter, for example, they'll hashtag #Quebec. Now, there's a point system here, which you'll have to develop an algorithm, and you'll understand which one of your viewers or consumers will be on these social media sites. When they post that image with that object, they will start to accumulate points. On the Facebook, as far as Facebook goes, just due to the nature of Facebook, you'll have to create a page that's associated with this campaign. And they'll be able to post that image with that product on that Facebook page. So what do they win after these points are accumulated over a month? So they're taking all these images with these objects when they're announced, when they're saying, okay, page 26, now everybody posts, is that there's going to be 5 people and they're going to get a centerfold photo shoot. Now, initially, you would think that maybe one individual should win, but judging by the nature of individuals, sometimes it's a little more comfortable for these women to do it in a group scenario, right? So they know there's 5 winners. They all get a trip to get spa and makeup all to the studios, and they get this photo shoot done, and they get to be presented within this magazine, which is a huge social appeal. As I tie in with the intro there, that individuals like to market themselves, and this is a big opportunity for these people. And they also receive every single product that was highlighted in the magazines. So what's the incentive for an individual to continue using all these different marketing platforms? Well, you can continue the point system even after this month-long campaign goes on. You can constantly be throwing out more prizes, whether it be simple discounts for your magazines within a retail location, or another makeover trip, depending on how things are trending. Now, what is also strategic about this is if you start to see a lower traffic level on your Twitter page and a higher traffic on your Facebook, and you want to even that out, you can start strategically printing your magazines with more of a Twitter logo and announcing that higher with regards to when they should post that associated image on that social networking site. So what do you have here? Well, you have individuals who are definitely reading your print magazine so that they can be looking at all these images. They have to be on your Twitter page, because if you don't, you're not going to rack up enough points. They have to be on your Facebook group, because if they don't, they're not going to rack up enough points. And again, with your Pinterest. Another incentive with regards to your apps and your Pinterest and your webpage is that you need to make sure you're providing exclusive content. If you're repeating the content that you already have within your magazines, there's no incentive for them to go reread the exact same thing again on another platform. So there is some sort of associated exclusivity to having these different platforms. And finally, one other object that we thought would be cool is that, along the lines of this exclusivity, is that if you are a member of all of your different media platforms, you will be able to recognize this. They're a follower of Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, subscribe to your magazine, and have an account on your website. They're going to be part of the El Quebec Club, which you simply are going to tag them in an image. This image can be strategically structured on Facebook, saying the El Quebec Club, which is an exclusive club to be in because you're part of all of your social media content, and that's going to be expressed through their personal Facebook page. So a friend goes to visit their page, and they go, oh, they're part of the El Quebec Club, and they recognize that exclusivity, and then you're up to date on the content that you are providing. So how are you going to advertise for this campaign? Well, along the theme of having these individuals posting themselves with these images, you're going to get a collage of photos. So you can do this within a studio. You don't actually have to collaborate other real individuals who are part of your social media site with the objects. You can just collaborate 1,000 different photos taken in a studio and use that collage of photos to spell out the El Quebec campaign, these ads. You can then put this image on web banners as well as application banners that you have, email newsletters, which you're currently sending out, and the Metro Montreal. This is using the internal resources of TC. You do have many of those weeklies or any other connections of the current subsidiary companies that you're running. So we believe that by implementing this campaign, you will get increased visits of 20% or more. That's using those banners that I just explained. People will recognize it and get involved. You will get increased page visits because these individuals who are currently just using your print magazine will have an incentive to go online and use those other platforms. You will get a higher social media engagement because they're required to if they want to rack up points and place high in this competition. And you will get an increased loyalty to El Quebec. They're completely integrated and get all your updates on every single platform.
Ainsi, pour s'en suivre avec la mise en œuvre, nous allons commencer dès le premier mois à contacter les compagnies pour savoir quels produits qu'ils aimeraient afficher pour la campagne comme telle. Pour que par la suite, nous sommes en mesure de déterminer les produits qu'on veut mettre, le petit logo à côté, soit Facebook, Twitter. Et nous allons finaliser le matériel et l'ajout des symboles pour les produits pour la remise des prochaines revues d'ici les 2 prochains mois. Pour finaliser le premier mois, nous allons aussi instaurer des interfaces nécessaires, donc la construction de l'algorithme pour entrelier tous les sites. Dès le deuxième mois, nous allons aussi être en mesure de commencer à promouvoir la campagne comme telle, donc les bannières pour les revues, pour les sites internet, les newsletters, etc. Et nous allons aussi contacter certains partenariats stratégiques. Dès le 3e mois, nous allons débuter la campagne qui durera un mois et demi pour que, par la mi du 4e mois, nous soyons en mesure de déterminer les 5 gagnantes pour les envoyer pour la fin de semaine thématique. Donc, aller au spa, aller se faire couper les cheveux, le maquillage, un shopping spree, aller magasiner. Et rendu au 5e mois, nous allons entamer la mise en page du contenu. Donc, pour que le matériel soit finalisé dès le 6e mois et vendu dès le 7e. Pour s'en suivre, nous avons aussi un modèle de campagne publicitaire. Celui-ci serait approximativement dès le 2e mois. Donc, la construction du contenu, contacter les partenaires stratégiques tels que mentionné précédemment, qui nous voulons entamer pour faire des discussions à la télévision, aller voir certaines émissions pour qu'ils promouvoient notre campagne. Et nous allons aussi lancer dès la 2e semaine les bannières sur tous les médias mentionnés précédemment. Dès la 3e semaine, nous allons aussi avoir une parution de l'émission de télévision où nous parlons de notre campagne, s'assurer que tout le monde soit au courant dès qu'elle commence pour la 4e semaine. Nous avons aussi un exemple d'horaire pour la fin de semaine pour les gagnants. Donc, il arrivera à Montréal dès le vendredi après-midi pour qu'elle ait une séance de magasinage et ensuite une soirée entre dames pour set de mood, on pourrait dire, d'un sens. Dès le samedi, nous allons aussi avoir une matinée au spa, qu'elle relaxe. Elle s'éloigne de la famille un peu, c'est une fin de semaine directement pour elle. Et en après-midi, il va y avoir les préparations pour finir en soirée avec la séance de photographie, le maquillage, les cheveux, tout est fait. En dimanche, il y aura alors le retour à la maison. Bon, en ce qui concerne le budget, nous allons avoir la construction de l'algorithme qui reviendra approximativement à 20 000 $, mais les coûts d'opération de ceux-ci, l'entretien, s'assurer que c'est toujours en fonction, ce serait approximativement de 80 000 $. Pour les publicités, donc tout ce qui était mentionné précédemment, ce serait 50 000 $, et la mobilisation des gagnants serait de 20 000 $ pour les rentes à Montréal, l'hôtel, les soupers, le magasinage, etc. Le tournage, en dernier lieu, et la séance de photographie reviendra approximativement 30 000 $ avec tout l'équipement nécessaire. Alors, en tout, ça reviendra à un total de 200 000 $ pour la campagne au complet.
So you want to create an integrated marketing campaign using Quebec's current platforms. Now, the ES campaign allows your readers to really market themselves. It allows them to not only work with all of your different platforms and increase platform traffic, it allows them to get creative with the different products that you have. It allows them to interact with other users, and it allows them to win the ultimate prize, a chance to be in a prestigious magazine like Quebec. It'll also increase the content life cycle because they'll get to remember the content that that was posted earlier and reuse it again and again and remember it and relive it. We really want to give your readers the chance to have that experience, the chance to socialize, and the chance to become part of EDS.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I think you have some really interesting concepts about how to reuse content, and I really like the gamification component of it to really accumulate points. My question to you is that there's a big portion of the campaign that starts from print and that is driven to social media, but I feel that once the users have reached our social media pages, how do you engage them onto our website?
Right, so it was a little difficult to elaborate, but really we want the content to be across all the platforms. So the source of how they begin to participate comes from Twitter, comes from Facebook, but also from the website, where Brandon said that the content would be relatively exclusive. Assuming that you don't have identical content, of course, on your webpage and in your magazine, you can then have different pins. So in order to really reap the full benefit of the participation, the reader not only has to get the content from the magazine, but also will go to your website to see the different features and the different products. And really, the use of that also is that they might have the product at home, right? A lot of your readers are apt to trial the products that are in your magazine because you promote those accessible, relatable, great products. So by going to all the different sites, they increase their chances. So there's incentive for them inherently to go to the website.
Okay, good, thank you.
How do you see, actually no, how are you gonna integrate the sponsors or the advertiser with your program? Because it's really interesting, it talks about products and everything, but how we can involve them?
We didn't have too much time to elaborate it, but Sam had briefly touched upon a television show. So something that's mutually beneficial about that is that you could have, for example, Clinique products are often featured in your magazine. That's a really great product. On the talk show, it could be just a very well-known talk show in Quebec. You do a makeover feature. So for one lucky audience member, you have an L representative there, you have a Clinique cosmetic artist, and then they're using, because you have your content ahead of time, they can use, for example, the products from the upcoming April issue, for example, on a person in March, and then talk about the campaign. So Clinique's getting visibility, L's getting visibility, and it's of course cross-promotion with the TV show, which you had mentioned was very successful.